Translating what I can, the Dean's honored to encounter the first new humans in centuries. She says the Ionians' deity, the thing they call the Holy Anomaly, is on the other side of the altar, threatened by the Singularity. The capsule we put into the altar stabilizes rings of the lock to keep the Singularity contained. It's a collection of dark matter she called a strangelet. You'll need to get through the lock if you want to find out what's on the other side. We'll need your muscle, Guardian.
So Lodi, tell me more about how you got here. The more we know, the better chance we can find a solution.
All I know is I woke up here 4 weeks ago in a singed suit. I don't remember how I got here. I know I'm from Earth, I remember my family, but not much else.
That sounds like how a light bearer would wake up, but you don't have a ghost.
No, I'm alive. You probably know more about this place than I do. But I do remember hearing Guardians have a complicated relationship with memory. Is there any truth to that?
That's a fairly common question. Guardians forget who we were before our first resurrection. We forget in exchange for the light.
Shame. Feels cruel.
Drifter, you brought them my message, capsized. Find my frequency. I'm not Neon.
No way. Orin. Neon. Orin, what happened to you? I thought you were locked in as the Nine's errand runner. You were gone.
Yes, but my memory is a mess. It's all vetiver. Oh, damn it. Rig transponder. You can pinpoint my location.
The hell, Orin? Why do you sound like you ate a dream journal?
Petrichor. Damn it. I am not adjusting to linear time well. I am no longer emissary. I quit.
You quit? Thought you'd ascended or something. Become a higher being. I didn't know you could quit being emissary.
Me either. But with the right motivation, anything is starlight. You'd be proud. I'm malted.
Oh, I have to know what you mean by malted.
Exactly what it sounds like. I wanted my body back. I wanted my will back.
she only just found shoes, for Pete's sake. Got your location, Orin. Never thought I'd hear from you again.
Scrambled eggs. I meant to deliver a message, but can't remember what it is. I know the Nine will need a replacement emissary. They will not find one nearby on the X-axis. They will need to search a millennia up and down the Y.
My message found you. I'm Orin, once a Guardian, like you. When I last reached out to the Vanguard, I warned you of the Nine's fallibility. The results of that fallibility are in play now, I think. You will fix it. But how isn't clear. Everything I knew is scattered. My will, cleaved from service and rough-hewn clay. It wasn't bloodless. But I know I chose this for a reason. I did. In my memory, when I touch my hand to the moment, I am overcome with dissonance, and another shape, buried in noise, assuming my place. I must speak sharpness to the Drifter. A tint on knowledge held, but still unknown. I'll need your help hunting down the fate that brought us here.
So, Orin, you quit and now you're just here?
Mitosis. Annoying you had to see me like this now. Scrambled eggs and someone else's shoes. How have you been?
Oh, busy. Feet planted on the ground more often than not. Seeing someone new these days.
Oh, good. Good for you. Can't say the same. I've been too busy corralling my electrons. Who are you seeing?
It's, Eris Morn.
You have a type, Drifter. I'm happy for you both. Really.
I hear you had a run-in with that Archon fellow. Or his cutouts, anyway. Apparently he's the leader of these exiled Elixni, but nobody's seen him in a long time. Real recluse. The Ionians say he can speak through the mouths of his followers. Like some kind of psychic thing. But that's absurd, right? Have you seen this little ventriloquist act? Huh. Well, I'll believe it when I see it myself. I suggest you do a little bang and burn to draw out their leadership. Once we know exactly who we're dealing with, we can do a more realistic threat assessment.
I haven't been very deep into the Exiles' Accord. They aren't fond of visitors. This architecture seems a little out of the box.
We've dealt with Elixni houses before, but this does feel different.
Lodi, I need to be frank. I don't buy your story.
Yeah. Well, you don't know the half of it. If I wasn't me, I also wouldn't buy my story.
What do you know about whatever brought you here?
Nothing. I woke up here in a singed suit after the most insane fall of my life. It seems the local Elixni had developed a parallel form of teleportation. They're using dark matter to create portals. If we want to infiltrate their sphere of influence, we'll need that capability. Mr. Drifter says you've got the skills for a smash and grab, so I suggest we go loud. Get us a sample of that tech and we'll be in business.
This must be the House of Exile's new teleportation tech. It's mounted in an old cannon frame. That's handy. Scans show the power cell and space inverter have been tampered with. Those mechanisms have dark matter cores. They'll wear out fast. It looks like this mobile unit creates an entangled link between a jump pad and wherever you're aiming. Just be careful what you pointed at.
Good work out there. You got some real moves. Normally, agents that skilled at wet work have checkered past. Makes me wonder how you came to be so dangerous. With expanded access, we can investigate those Elixni in earnest, and find the truth about this so-called Archon. I've got some ideas on that. Catch up with me later to get started.
Guardian, I've made myself a contact within the Elixni ranks. Apparently not everyone is happy with the way things are being run.
You little sleuth.
That's the idea. Anyway, there's apparently a power station nearby feeding a lot of juice into something off-site.
Got it. I'm reading high levels of arc energy.
It's mixing with signatures matching the singularity.
All right, Guardian, this has to be the house's power plant. There's a massive current moving through the cables around us. And gravitons.
My informant Keels tells me that power is going straight into a warship.
If we can get to a power plant's controls while it's charging their ship, we can send a lethal surge to it from here before it ever leaves port.
Crafty. And it'll buy time to hunt down the Strangelet capsule in the Accord. If we stop the singularity from expanding, stabilize Kepler, maybe they'll stand down.
A fat chance we talk a psycho like that off a ledge. He's a true believer in whatever psychos believe in.
They aren't leaving us many options. We need to reach the anomaly.
Deathless, why have you come? Glimpses are seen of your actions, but your motive ever shrouded. When my house found Soul, saw the great machine with your world, we left in defeated peace.
It looks like this station is actually drawing some form of power from these native center colonies. So, the slimes are their generators?
This whole place is wired like a rat's nest. That's worse than my ship.
Guardian, patch me into a console and I can override that barrier.
The Deathless was foretold. See how they must kill as prophesied? Kiver Sight warned me of this final test. I'll be resilient, my house.
Look alive, hero. They're piping in splinter mines. Crazy sons of crabs are gonna cause a damn cave-in.
You're on bomb defusal, Guardian.
Vask sure likes to talk, making a show of us barging into his house. Maybe we pull his moxie out from under him and he lets some intel slip.
Unless he sees that coming. All this prophecy talk. Back in my day, you'd kill a fella fair without knowing the future.
You think he's really clairvoyant?
Not to alarm you, Guardian, but a mine is getting dangerously close to death. It looks like this station is actually drawing some form of power from these native cytocolonies. So, the slimes are their generators?
This whole place is wired like a rat's nest. It's worse than my ship.
The deathless was foretold. See how they must kill as prophesied? Kiver Sight warned me of this final test. I'll be resilient, my house.
Guardian, patch me into a console and I can override that barrier.
Sons of crabs are gonna cause a damn cave-in.
You're on bomb defusal, Guardian.
Vask sure likes to talk, making a show of us barging into his house. Maybe we pull his moxie out from under him and he lets some intel slip.
Unless he sees that coming. All this prophecy talk. Back in my day, you'd kill a fella fair without knowing the future.
Think he's really clairvoyant? Okay, Guardian. We need to find a way to overload that control panel.
Once we do, the immense surge of current will wreak havoc on whatever warship the house is trying to power up.
Probably why they tried to blow us up. I guess they're trying to unplug. We should hustle up. I think you gotta roll up and do that ball thing. Go on.
Like vile Vex, the Deathless is violence-driven. They cannot be turned away by reasoned words. Only blood.
Mighty Archon, we hear your prophecy. The Deathless kneels before the Giver with your blessing. Just open the way.
Will what now?
This was not our tricks. You conspire with metal invaders to keep us from the Giver. To draw our house into folly. Show your Archon true faith. This world was slipped into unknown spaces, as I have seen it. Exiles with it, their death is fated to be reborn.
What's your next plan? Stand there with the guns pointed at each other until someone gets cold feet?
So the Archon didn't take the bait, but he mentioned being kept from the Giver. Sounds like, despite their push to the Singularity, something's still cutting them off from it. That means we don't have to rush right in unless they make a move. Maybe there's somewhere else we can apply pressure.
You're a kid. Those things been shooting at you since you landed on this dump, and you still haven't pulled your piece.
That's right. Unlike you, I don't prefer a gun to solve my problems when questions work just as well.
Enough! We may have knocked out their power, but the Archon's still out there. We'll need to be ready when they make their next move.
You sure your informant ain't running us around in circles, Square?
Kiosk is risking a lot just to speak with me. And I vetted them, of course.
Yeah, you're probably right. All those ones that tried to kill us are just bad apples.
People aren't all one way or another. That's what makes us interesting.